benefit tremendously out of this, man. So welcome, man. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself, just like a little introduction.
Yes, thank you for that, Pablo, and thank you for having me on. So first off, let me introduce myself as the motherfucking real beast. I started bodybuilding about 2013, about 4 years ago, and I had no clue what I was doing at the beginning. And like everything, trial and error and repetition, with commitment, that's what it took for me. It exploded for me. I find myself now competing on shows and on stage and being able to help those around me. And what I bring to the table is the real beast. It is, everybody wants to be real beast, but are they actually willing to put up everything they have into committing to that, that sport or that goal that they have? And I've been through the years practicing and applying my ways that I've learned, and it's brought me to where I'm at now. 3 competitions this year done. I hit my last was a natural show. I hit second in, and that's, for me, it's amazing. It's phenomenal to do it, all this. Yeah, it's phenomenal. And through learning from my mentors and my guides and everybody that I'm surrounded with, I've seen that if you apply and you stay committed, you can reach anything. There's no
training me. You're my personal trainer. You are you're helping me building my body again.
Yeah,
making it more aesthetic, more beautiful. The first thing that happened when I went into the gym, I saw a lot of people not paying attention to what they're doing, and people not paying attention to you as a customer. The personal trainers that they're working in the gym. Man, most of them are fat, and most of them have no fucking clue, or maybe they do, but they are like doing to themselves. They're, maybe they're going through literally. I saw that, I went to the gym, and I think I told you that. Man.
Like my body is a representation of what I do. So I can teach somebody, I could show somebody, I could bring them to my level because of what I know and what I've done. And that's the first thing I get with new clients is, I want to go to the gym, but I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Yeah. So knowing that knowledge, that I've acquired, it's simple for me to break it down and not use these crazy scientific words. It's just reps, sets, carbs, protein. Simple, very simple. And like I showed you, like we've been talking over the time, and it's really simple. You hardly hear me say anything out of this world. I don't want to make it too complicated. I want to break it down as simple as I can. You did for me, as far as my style. Shout out to the God of Style.
Just simply emphasizing the importance of going to workout, of working out, even if it's on the gym or whatever it is that you want to do, work out. I think this is a crucial part of becoming successful, of truly becoming more beautiful, stylish, successful, getting shit done. Man, you become magnetic. You have an aura, a different aura, not only with yourself, but people can see it.
Actually stepping into the gym. Well, first you have to build a habit.
Yeah.
And around those habits, they build a stronger mindset. And then when you challenge yourself or you say, I want to look like this, and you give it time, and eventually your body starts to change, you develop a confidence. It happens naturally because you're working on yourself. Your mind, you're reinforcing your mind and your mind state and your habits. And with time, that structures a stronger inner being. Like myself, I didn't start off confident. I had to work on it. But with knowing that, I started at, say, 100 pounds, probably less.
Yeah.
And I built myself up. With that build of that weight, the confidence, I just walk like, okay. Like I know I could carry that. I know I could carry that weight.
For those that are intelligent, you're gonna get to see it. You're gonna understand what I'm trying to say. When you're working on your body, when you're working out, it doesn't matter what you put on, man. You're gonna look phenomenal regardless of what you put on. Now, of course, there's certain techniques and certain aspects that you need to learn, like proportion and all that. But still, man, like you feel so comfortable with your own skin, under your skin, with your body that, fuck. The cherry, your fashion is going to, or your style is going to be the cherry at the top. They started a new trend of, I don't need to go to the gym. I don't need to do shit, I love myself the way I am. I don't need to do anything else because God created me perfectly, and, it's entirely up to me. So let's do this. I'll say my piece and then I'll pass it on to you so you can say what you think about all that.
Okay.
I think that this is entire bullshit. I think this is completely wrong. This is stupid. This is completely stupid. And it is one of the main reasons why people believe that they don't have to do anything. Now, talking about fitness, they believe that just because, I mean, there's a misinterpretation on this whole thing about fitness. You don't need to have the six-pack, right? You don't need to have the whole goddamn six-pack and be completely strong and be huge and shit like that. And, you know, there's this misguidance. You think that we've been manipulated. We think that the media has been manipulating us because we think now, or the media thinks that everyone should look the same way. Staying fit is about having a six-pack. Staying fit is about having a tiny little waist. And it's not about that, man. It's about working on yourself. I mean, shit. It's about working on yourself. Working out. Working out is an investment for you, right? So this whole new trend about, you don't have to do anything, You're perfect as God created you. Man, that's so weak. That's a weak thought, all right? That's weak. That's weakness at its best. You should not be thinking that way. You should not allow yourself to think in that way because eventually you're gonna look back in time, you're gonna be like, oh man, I look like shit. And then your mind is gonna start creating excuses and stories on why you are the way you are right now. The actions that I'm taking are a representation of my body and everything. And that's a beautiful thought, man. So I'll pass it on to you.
Yes, and I remember you saying, or someone said, well, what if the best version of you is a piece of shit? Do you really want to be that? Come on. So you have to work on yourself. I mean, the be whatever you want to be, and if I'm fat, it's okay. That's a fucking excuse. Like, who wants to be that? I don't get it. Who wants to? Everybody always wants to be the best version of themselves. They want the six-pack, they want the abs and the body, and it takes work. That's what I can say. The bottom line, it takes work. People are not willing to commit to that. When you give anybody hard stuff to do, they shy away from it. Only true warriors and only true fighters, they're like, bring it. Come on, give it to me. Yeah. Because I've been at it for years, and I'm barely where I'm at now. I know all the work that it takes. It's not easy at all. It is not easy. So the opposite of that, if you don't want to work, then yeah, go ahead and be fat. Eat all the food you want. There's no discipline in that. There's no structure and no commitment in that. Just live your life however you want. That's the trend. The trend, it weakens people in a sense because I don't find value in that. It takes a lot of work to build value, and to keep it up because you have to keep rising every day. It's a ever-ending thing. Imagine an hourglass that's always running out. Like, you got to keep adding to it. It's always going to be work, So it's the path of the warrior. That's not easy. It's very simple though, but it's not easy.
Yeah. I'll pass it on. A reward in weakness, right?
So the motivation or the staying active part, the staying on it and on top, you have to see where this is a priority in your life. I know people have kids, they have work, they have activities they do. Where does this fit into that? Like, do you really want to get fit? Okay, then it has to be a priority. After your family and after your kids, where does this fall in line? Because, a lot of the people wake up and then the day is random. Like, then they'll get to the gym, and what it takes is for you to sit down. And what I did, I'll share what I did. Yeah. I picked up a calendar and an agenda. I actually got down to that level to where it's precise. Like, these are the days I set a time for my gym. Regardless, I circled it. I'm like, nothing, no distractions are gonna stop me from this. Not my brother calling, not my sister calling, not my girlfriend calling, like, hey, I need this or I want this. It doesn't matter. This time is set aside exactly for my goal, for my gym time. And once you get in there, sometimes you're not gonna feel like it, which I've experienced that many times. But if I weren't given the opportunity tomorrow to do this again, then I had just wasted a whole entire life, So make it that strong. Like, you have to do it. Make it. If you weren't given any more time after tomorrow, did you really live the life you wanted? Did you really live the life you wanted? And my guess is probably not, because a lot of people regret things. Take action. It takes action. So my suggestion is you get an agenda, you block off your calendar, you say, this is the time I'm going to the gym, regardless of how I feel or not. You know, it takes that work. And then you go every day. After a couple, reps and sets, you get into that feeling, you get into that flow, and your mind starts kicking in. You remember why you're doing it in the first place. One suggestion I can offer to everybody is, it's called the trigger word. And Pablo, I'm sure you've heard of this. It's where you imagine that goal, that body that you want, and then you sit there and you feel that emotion come up, like when you really get motivated. And then you trigger it with a word. Like myself, it was real beast. Like I imagined the real beast, and I felt so powerful, and I just triggered it. I'm like, this is what it is, this is what it is. And I work with all my clients that way. So I have the trigger word, and when they're acting up, when they're not, on point with the game, I don't have to say anything but the word. One person that I trained, her word was short. That was her word. I don't know why, but I would just throw that in the sentence or say the word short, and right away she'd boost up, because it brought back that thought that she wanted and the feelings, put her back into that state.
Now, I want to talk about something that has to do more with what I do, which is the product, the fashion and shit like that. Oh my God, when you go to the gym or when you go work out, why the fuck, or why, oh why, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you call it, why do you think that you have to dress yourself like a piece of shit, like a bump? Like, what? Why? What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys, right? When I walk into the gym, and we've discussed this, you and me, that we don't see anybody standing out. Everyone looks like shit. Oh, but I'm just working out, man. I don't have to look good. I'm just working out. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? It is a lifestyle. It is an ongoing thing. The way that you put it, it's beautifully said. It is like an hourglass, like a... How do you say it?
I said it's always running out. You got to put in more. You got to put in more work. It doesn't ever end, ever.
With your fashion, with your fitness, with everything in life, right? With your money, with everything in life. So the fact that you're working out doesn't give you permission to look like shit, right? There's a code. There's a protocol. There's a protocol on how, what type of colors should you wear when you go to the gym? What type of fit? What type of material even? What type of things can you wear to still look your best, to still be the best version of yourself when it comes to your fashion? But you're working out. You gotta be comfortable. You gotta lift your weights. You have to be moving around all the time. You're sweating, so I'm not saying that I'm gonna go to the gym wearing my suit, although if I could, I would.
Shit.
I see that, man. The protocols. Let's start with the protocols, right? Don't you hate it when people, first of all, look like shit, and then when they don't know that there's guides and protocols when you go to the gym, like the people that go and they grab every cock-sucking dumbbell and they just leave it playing around the entire gym, and then they're using this machine, and then they're using that machine, and then they're sweating like a motherfucker, and they don't clean anything. Oh my God. What do you think about that, man?
That's a fucking pig. That's a pig. That's no structure, no discipline. I mean, you have to respect your area, especially in the gym. The gym I go to, shout out Sal Rivas, Ripped by Rivas, you have to pick up your weights. That's number one rule. Like, you don't get away with that shit. You get kicked out. You go in there, you wipe your shit down, you use your weights, and you put them back. Yeah, you can have your session, have your beast mode session.
Yeah.
But you always put it back, and it's out of respect, because the next people, I hate it. And the funniest thing was, I've had it to where I need a 5-pound dumbbell, and I got to move fucking 3 45-pound plates, to get to my little 5. And I'm like, wow, like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time, and it's not something that we respect. I don't respect that shit.
No one.
You don't respect that. So yeah, clean up after yourself. That's number 1. Pick up after yourself. That's number 2. And then work hard. That's number 3.
Yeah. That's true, man.
And shout out real quick, Ira. I see it. It's peeking.
There you go, man.
Next, you're gonna have your shirt off. Watch by the end of this thing.
Please, come on, man. Shit.
Good. I want to say, my style changed, becoming part of the Power of Image, and through our talks, it was the amount of attention that I get going into a gym. Wearing what I wear now is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
mean,
Like I used to go in there confident, but now it's just like, am I showing off all the time? Is that what I keep doing? I have to tone it down. It's just crazy. It has crazy because I don't look like anybody in there. And I always get these looks. Like I'm walking straight, and I get these looks catching people breaking necks and eyes twitching real quick. And that's part of what I've been doing. Is working on my image in the gym. So shout out to you.
Even something so simple like your bracelets,
Yes.
for something as simple as that. Pax friend, something simple as that when you go to the gym. Simple details. It's about layering and the details. Think about details, think about layers. And you can still be comfortable, but the way that you said it, I love it. You're coming from a position of power where you don't need it, but you can choose to tone it down. You're not showing off, because anybody that feels shy or feels threatened by your power or by your success, they're projecting their own fears onto you. It has nothing to do with you. Your muscles, if my muscles offend you, well, not mine, but yours, if your muscles offend anybody else, like, oh, they feel intimidated, like, come on, man, you're a little bitch.
Come on, man up.
I'm working on myself. Why? Are you telling me that I should not be promoting myself? Because if I don't do it, no one else is going to do it. Are you telling me that I should be humble? That fucking weak word that I hate. Humble, humility. The fuck is that, man? I know there's another word for it. It's calibration. Yeah. But coming from a position of power, just like you said it, where I know the power of image. I know how can I look better than the rest of these average motherfuckers when I go to the gym. And it's entirely up to me if I want to look better than them or not. But I have the choice. I have the freedom and the power of choosing, not being like the average piece of shit that just because they go to the gym, they think that they can look horrible. And guys, girls, you have no idea. The opportunities are all around us all the time. We've discussed this, you and I too, that knowing game, coming from the pickup and seduction community. Yeah. It's communication. You can talk to any girl in there. You can talk to any person in there. Me, as an entrepreneur, I can start talking to anyone in there and maybe get a sale out of there, like, hey, I'm an image consultant, anytime that you need, blah, 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 blah. And I get in there, and then maybe not even in sales or seduction, maybe I get a new friend. Maybe after that, we go grab a bite or something like that, man. So I think the opportunities are all around us, but people don't realize that. They tend to think very like inside of the box. They don't think outside of the box. And that's one of the things that we're talking right now. We're shedding a lot, sharing and putting on the light on these topics that, just because you go to the gym doesn't mean that you have to look bad. And just because you're working out and you're the real beast and stuff like that doesn't mean that you have to be like crazy, putting everything, using all the goddamn gym out.
Yeah.
I hate that shit, man. I almost punched a guy. I got almost into a fight in the gym, man.
I believe it, man. I believe it.
I'm too aggressive and shit.
It's good to be aggressive. You need to be aggressive. Speaking on what you just said, I noticed that, like, when I started off, as the more as I progressed, the more I climbed out of the box and started to shine and show myself, the more people didn't like that. People don't like that shit. When you start to climb, it's like, I'm looking back like, motherfucker, like, I'm out of this shit. Like, I'm getting out. I want to expand. I want to grow. And, it happens naturally if you stay on track. But I received hate and, just bullshit happens. Yeah. It does happen. It comes when you start to separate yourself, which I have. I see a gap. When I started, I could count, the people that were starting with me. And I stayed dedicated. And now I look back, I'm like, where are these people at that wanted to ride like this? They wanted to, work out like this. And they really wanted to make the videos and stuff. And I don't see them anywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, that piece of shit, man. It takes hard. It takes hard work, just like you said, man. It's a commitment that you do. How bad do you want it?